What happened with the Poppy Playtime devs? Oh, yeah, I was gonna look that up, I forgot. The shady history of the Poppy Playtime. Yeah, so I do vaguely know what happened. So I'm sure it'll be covered in the video, but we'll check this out. It is kind of interesting. The Poppy Playtime devs have been accused of stealing someone else's, like, premise. They stole, apparently, like, the whole idea of Poppy Playtime. Then they also found themselves in deeper controversy when they talked about, like, doing NFTs for it, but, like, core NFTs, as in, like, the game wouldn't function without the NFTs or some shit like that. I don't remember now. But the big one was about them plagiarizing or just outright stealing something like that. Check it out.
Special thanks to YouTubers Poseidon and Artemation for helping me with the research of this video. They will be linked below. 2015 was an interesting time. We saw the rise of many creations breaking into internet conscious and sometimes even the mainstream. No matter where you looked, you couldn't get away from media around games such as Minecraft or Five Nights at Freddy's. These two games, especially Minecraft, have solidified their place in pop culture and with the media that we all consume today. An obvious and undeniable part of what started to make these pieces of entertainment grab a wider range of people and become more accessible was fan-created content. This range being anything from the simple and common Let's Play to some more analytical videos discussing various findings in the games themselves.
Yeah, MatPat's whole channel was basically based around it.
Of the game operate. You can argue that some pieces of content may objectively be easier or harder to produce than others, but generally speaking, I think all this content serves a purpose one way or another. Undeniably, some of the most high-effort and hard-to-produce content is animation.
True.
Both Minecraft and Five Nights at Freddy's have had their fair share of animations since their inception to now, with no sight of them going away.
Minecrafts, though, were always the weirdest. Anyone remember the early days of Minecraft animations? They used to have... Fuck, what was the series called? It was like a sexual one, and I can't remember the fucking name of it now. Wow. I literally just had it right before I paused the video. Ah, Futuristic Hub. Yeah, Futuristic Hub, thank you. That has a wild story behind it. That channel, like, the person behind that channel was a maniac. Like, they would constantly get into fucking fights, threaten people and shit like that. Are they still around? Does Future Hub still pump out, like, Minecraft double Ds and all that? Like, Minecraft tits, whatever? Oh yeah, they're still around. Doesn't look like they do sexual stuff anymore, though. Or maybe they do, I don't really know. At least I think it was Futuristic Hub that used to make sexual Minecraft stuff. It was? Okay.
Are strong in their own right, having so much depth to them that they can be considered full sub-communities to the main one. We've seen many animators come and go from these communities. Some rose, some fell.
Oh, they did. One of them was the owner of the channel fucking a creeper. I vaguely remember that. I mainly remember the Futuristic Hub, like, actual person behind it just melting down on Twitter. Like, constantly getting into arguments and shit. I don't remember him having sex with a creeper in, like, a self-published animation or whatever. I just remember that they did sexual animations, and the guy was really mean to everybody and, like, super, super aggressive.
Yeah, let's not talk about that one. But
oh, hey, just brought it up.
Animation content for these two games are very important to the history and development of these properties. Of course, with the growth of these two games, over time, more professional people in the business would start to see this as an opportunity. It's no surprise that a medium like this would be as lucrative as it is. And with many having the opportunity to rise alongside the franchises you make videos about, it's no surprise that some people would find combining these two together would lead to success. This was the exact thought of Seth Belanger, who seemed to strike gold with his animation Survive the Night, based off the FNAF fan song of the same name. Today, the video is sitting at an unbelievable 61 million views, bringing the channel to great YouTube fame for the next coming years.
Nice.
Little did Seth know at the time that he and his brother, Zachary Belanger, more on him later, would go on to turn this channel into an entire studio of creators making consistent, high-quality animations for a target demographic of 8 to 13-year-olds to enjoy. As time went on, greed, allegations of plagiarism, bullying, poor workplace conditions, and much more would start to be the legacy that older fans would start to remember Enchanted Mob, as well as their joint studio, Examination 4. Enchanted Mob...
I haven't heard of either one of those. Hold on, let me look them up real quick. 3 million subs? That's pretty big! They kind of pop off. Very active, and the other one was Zanimation. And this is kids content, which means it's getting those premium ads. 133 million views on that bad boy. Zam indeed. Wow. Purple guy kills Golden Freddy. I mean, it's not made for me, so I can't exactly be upset about it, but Gotta respect that hustle. Jesus Christ.
But to understand what led up to this change, how did Enchanted Mob Examination get their start? Enchanted Mob was a channel founded in early 2014 by brothers Seth and Zach Belanger. Judging on what time this video goes up, they may have just had their 8th anniversary. The channel would stay inactive for 2 months after its creation, eventually having a welcome video uploaded, which definitely has probably seen better days.
Hey. I used to have an intro video.
Consistently, uploading videos that would range from 1.5 minutes to 8 seconds. Just 16 videos into the channel.
Intro videos used to be the shit on YouTube. Does anyone remember my old intro videos? It wasn't like in my first ones. I spent a lot of time on this intro. It's not gonna look like I did, but I honestly spent days on it. I can't remember what... Oh, here it is. Making that do that was so hard for me. Fuck, man. I could have gone pro with editing, honestly, if I just stuck with it. I used Sony Vegas for that. Did you know Sony Vegas was capable of something like that? I pushed it to its very limits. I made that background. I made that text Times New Roman. And then I made it move and shit. And then before that, I actually had another intro. Where would that one be? I might have deleted every video that used to have the old intro on it. God, I wish I could find that shit again. Nope, no one ever found the old videos. I knew it'd be impossible.
With these Five Nights at Freddy's related animations. They would drastically grow since the release of Survive the Night. This success from the FNAF community would become even more apparent as any video derivative from Five Nights would get a pitiful amount of views compared to the tens of millions their FNAF uploads would get. With one of the only exceptions being their original work Be a Hero, which sits at 1.1 million views today. Other original works would find themselves in the millions down the line too. But even so, it was still a fraction of what they would accumulate through animations relating to
It's just hair. I just get
before
little
the
hairs in my
creation of
mouth.
Survive the Night, Enchanted Mob would open their first
One of the most
division,
annoying things
being
about having
Create
long hair.
Display. This channel became to be run by seemingly 2 workers under Enchanted Mob, creating other FNAF content, as well as some animations on other games occasionally. You may know them because of this legendary thumbnail. Now the channel is mainly used for uploading clips of a certain series I will get to very shortly. You can see a major jump in production quality, as this arguably put them on the map for better talent even more than Survive the Night did. Although 132 million is a nigh groundbreaking number for any YouTube channel, studio or not, in just another 2 years, Enchanted Mob would surpass themselves once more with their upload Build Our Machine. This time instead of FNAF, they would tackle Bendy at the height of its popularity.
What?
Although they would see success with these Bendy—
What the fuck is Bendy? Seems like anything that ends in a Y pops off. Bendy, Freddy. Oh, what was the other one? Baldi's Basics, all that shit. Slindy. I don't remember this game at all. I don't think I ever saw this one. Holy shit. Yep, I completely missed that wave.
Sometime in the making of these music videos,
Thanks,
Enchanted Mob seemingly wanted to branch out more. So on the 15th of February of last year, Enchanted Mob would create their ongoing series that they are most known for today, Fazbear and Friends. Except, not really. You see, the first 2 episodes of Fazbear and Friends were actually uploaded to the Examination channel, which as mentioned before, merged with Enchanted Mob sometime in 2020 for not public reasons. There's not much to talk about when it comes to the early life Examination. They started off with fairly good success for making creations that were based off of YouTube channels that were popular at the time, majorly picking up steam about 3 years ago. Somewhere down the line, this got the attention of Enchanted Mob, and the studios had agreed to do a business decision to merge.
Yeah, they look like the same logo.
Being an objectively good idea for the 2 studios.
Nice.
The current state of Enchanted Mob Examination has brought the studios to great success. Every episode of Fazbear and Friends, as well as other full-length videos, all surpass 1 million views, usually being in a 2 to 3 million
Hey, Squid Game!
However, long-term fans have discussed their resentment towards modern Enchanted. Sad to see what's happened to them nowadays. I used to watch Enchanted Mob when I was younger. Sad to see them go down this path. It's very funny how the creators of Poppy Playtime have a YouTube channel dedicated to Minecraft FNAF animations for kids. But it really comes to the question, what makes Enchanted Mob different in the eyes of its older audience now than when they were younger? The most obvious reason is just a lot of them have simply grew up. Survive the Night is more than 6
aging
years
is
old
cringe.
now. It would be obvious to say that a lot of people introduced to the channel would have a more refined taste outside of Minecraft FNAF animations as they got older. It's just a part of growing up.
I think you'd be surprised.
But even so, as you grow up, you can sometimes look back to things like this and have fond memories of it. What makes Enchanted Mob different, and why is their name infamous to a big portion of its older audience nowadays? But first...
Man, these wasps have been a real problem in my neighborhood lately. This is the 5th house.
Is this an ad break? Is he sponsored by Raid?
I should probably look up how to exterminate a
Oh, it's actually gonna be a Raid Shadow Legends thing, isn't it?
Your data to this house, for it was not
Oh no.
For punishment on trying to get rid of us, your house will now be tagged by our flames.
Oh,
Surfshark.
oh dear Lord! How could I have been so stupid to have let this happen? Was there any way I could have circumvented this?
You could have easily used NordVPN.
Oh, Nord.
It did not happen, my friend.
It was either Norge, Surfshark, or Atlas.
What on earth is that?
I had a good chance of getting it right.
You're burning your house down. I will gladly explain to you what NordVPN is. NordVPN is a service that allows you to have your data and internet traffic be secured and encrypted so no outside source can see it through the remote server.
What? So, you're saying
This is well done.
had my house burned down by
Thanks to Tier 1
Ralston,
Relzen.
if you didn't get a hold of my data and internet traffic?
Not only that, NordVPN allows you to change your region to anywhere.
And the resub Grievous.
You can access region-specific content outside of your location. Meaning if you want to access a show or movie
The
not
Prime
available
Bronzo
in your country,
in
you could. Or I
Cobalt.
should say, you should have, because your house is burning down. Not only that, but you can use it on any platform. Yes, even you Linux users. With the speed tests showing NordVPN is in fact the fastest VPN on the market, enabling it for internet browsing will not be a hassle.
Gee, Wasp. My house may be burning down.
Yeah, this is
Thank you
internet
for the
historian
information
style,
to
and it's
avoid
well
it being
done.
burnt the next time.
Get 70%
Thanks to Tier 1
off
Ant.
your first payment. That is right. Anyways, make sure you all click the link below to be careful in your research for us, the arsonist wasps. Again, that is nordvpn.com/tags for 72% off your first year.
The first piece of controversy the duo have seemed to have gotten themselves into was the creation of a joint channel. Animation Sins was created on October 2nd of 2017. The channel
Thanks
is
to
made up
resub
of a group who
Jace,
makes Cinema
just
Sins
say.
parody videos, usually on small animators. The channel's
That's
original
kinda
idea
fucked
was to
up.
give
What?
constructive criticism towards animators, while having satirical criticisms for entertainment. Although this concept seems like a fun one, the channel
it doesn't.
ultimately fell ill to the same blurred lines of what is genuine criticism and what is satirical, just like modern-day cinema.
That sounds like a
You can
horrible
see an obvious
idea.
bias between videos criticized from their own studio to videos criticized by other animators. The channel has remained stagnant for over a year now, so I think the studios have realized this. One reason as to why Enchanted Mob may have been starting to take a controversial path is because around this time, Zach Balancher really started to be involved in the managing of Enchanted Mob. And ever since, Seth's channel would start to head down the path.
Alright, I don't know why you keep comparing it to CinemaSins. CinemaSins critiques big movies, like major movies, not individuals. Like, from what I understand, Animator Sins goes for the small Minecraft animators. Those are kids. Those are literal children making the animations. And to just, like, bully them and shit on them, that's super different than a major movie. Like, it's not even comparable. Like, it's very, very different. It's a way to take them out early. Yeah, it weeds out competition. That way the kids never get better. Oh, pivot animation. There's something I haven't heard in years.
Zach's involvement has been discussed mostly negatively by many people. Not because he turned the channel into a company, but just because he was a bad manager. Allegations of poor workplace treatment and manipulation started to run rampant in the discussion of the two studios. A comment from a very important video, more on that in a second, stated presumably Zach, as well as other higher-ups in the studio, would fire anyone who questioned their work schedule or asked for a pay raise. This led to many animators to quit, and a few came out about their experiences after leaving the team. But you might have noticed I said this comment was left on a video of greater importance, and I think it's time to discuss that. This comment was left on a video of the Minecraft animator Eckercoaster, who has a less than savory past with Enchanted Mob examination. Eckercoaster's channel was created on the 2nd of June 2016. He would seemingly stay reserved to his own animations up until he got the attention of Enchanted Mob back in the start of 2018. During this time, Zach tried to convince Eckercoaster, who I'll be referring to as Ethan going forward, to join 3.8 Display among other things. Ethan ultimately refused the proposal, and tensions between him and Enchanted Mob started to ring up. There is hearsay, as well as undeniable proof of these people talking about him behind his back about their opinions on his lack of skill, and how he won't make it anywhere if he doesn't join the company. This stuff would not-
Wait, what? What a fucking weirdo. What? Okay. This Zach guy's not looking too cool.
make it anywhere if he doesn't join the company. This stuff would not look good on
Exhibits
its own,
Zoo.
but although these people could be seen as rude and somewhat manipulative,
The
I
prime
personally
rank.
don't think they've done much yet to be considered genuinely malicious. Obviously, my opinion on the subject matter was nowhere near mutual to how Ethan felt about their words at the time. It's still not very clear if Zach was just joking here. He makes little to no effort to backpedal on saying if it was a joke or not. The only explanations here are if it's not a joke, then either Zach is just not too bright and he genuinely believes that Coaster stole his outro.
Did you hear
or
about
more
Distortion's
believably,
run he just finished?
He knows
No, I
exactly
didn't.
what he's doing and is
I know he
just
got
trying
the
to get a
sub
rise out of
19.
Ethan. But I digress. I do believe that it's the latter of the two options though, and you'll see why. Going forward, Zach and Seth would ignore Coaster's wishes to not have their videos be featured on Animation Sins. Although this makes Ethan sound like he just doesn't want criticism, we have established that a lot of criticisms Animation Sins gives out are not necessarily helpful. And apparently from Ethan's perspective, it only helped contribute to harassment towards him. Most of his gripes were targeted towards Zach B, and that is all that I listed
Rune
off
level
here
1
throughout
run.
this discussion.
I saw him doing those earlier. I didn't get to
Ever
catch a
since
full
the
run though.
altercations of yesteryear, the studio and Ethan have been doing their own separate things. But during this time, both the team and himself have been working on two very big projects. Coaster had been working on the first act of his game, Venge, a FNAF and Bendy-inspired horror game that would have multiple chapters released. The game stayed fairly underground after its release, not really getting the attention of Let's Players or really any sort of big traction at all. The game would stay stagnant after the release of the first chapter, presumably Ethan working on more content for the game in the future. But around October of 2020, Enchanted Mob and Examination came together to form the company Mob Games, a developer subsidiary of Enchanted Mob, which would release their first game a year
That's your
later.
sub Peter and Casco. Okay, so now we have a little background on the team.
Playtime, the
They
relationship
seem a little
between
weird.
it and Venge has been extremely rocky. Since we have already established the animosity the two creators have against each other, it's safe to say when Ethan started to see similarities between his game and Playtime, he would speak up about it. Coaster accused Mob Games of stealing many story beats and ideas for assets from Venge to put
This
into
is
Poppy
what I
Playtime.
saw.
He points out that although the concept of exploring an abandoned building isn't new, the way that Poppy Playtime went around doing it is very similar to a lot of things Venge did in Ethan's eyes. His biggest note is the
Thanks, you said
similarities
Kerbo.
between the descriptions of the games, as he specifically notes the idea of
Oops, sorry, I wanted to read that. It doesn't really sound that similar. That doesn't sound similar like at all really. It's just a very generic concept. All right. Can't say I totally agree with that.
descriptions of the games, as he specifically notes the idea of an entertainment company miraculously disappearing to be a very common trait between the two plots of the games. He also gives examples of character designs and decors that look eerily similar to what you can find in
Now
Venge.
that's a lot
And
more
judging by the
convincing.
past that these two have, it would be safe to say that this could be more than a coincidence. When this thread was published, many people came into support of Coaster, many agreeing that a lot of what's been compared seems like blatant plagiarism. There were also a lot of others who were a bit more skeptical about it, stating that both games take heavy beats off of Bendy and the Ink Machine. Although a lot of assets and the plot of Venge can be heavily compared if not be seen as nearly identical
Is
to
it
that of
bits
Poppy
generic?
Playtime. Something that I feel a lot of people fail to bring up in the discussion of this is Ethan's inspiration off of Bendy. A chapter-by-chapter release, companies that were on top of their respective industries falling out of nowhere, and something that is prevalent in all of these games, character and monster designs that try to cater to the demographic of children by playing into the innocent things turns evil trope that FNAF heavily popularized. Do I think Poppy Playtime saw Venge and decided to copy it out of spite? No. Do I think Mob Games saw things from Bendy and Venge and decided to copy it out of sheer laziness? Yes. The Belanger and Preciado brothers may
I don't
be
know if I
malicious,
agree with
but
that.
something that I think a lot of people fail to mention is that the staff of Mob Games are probably not that
I
bad
mean,
of
there's
people.
nothing really creative about Poppy other than its gameplay. It's just all generic. Like, it's all super simple. I disagree. From what I read on Twitter, it was like a lot more cut and dry. Like, yeah, it looks like they really did steal this dude's game, but here it's like, oh no, it seems like it's just kind of generic.
Much like every other big project, the people actually
Like,
creating
I thought the
internal
gameplay was
aspects of the
borrowed
games
from
are
that
usually
guy's
just
game,
given what
which
the
it doesn't
creative
seem like it
director
is.
gives them. It's the creative decisions that I, and a lot of other people, seem to have a problem with. And for me, these problems outweigh the plagiarism allegations. You have this $5 entry to what is basically a 30-minute tech demo that you can beat in an even shorter amount of time.
See, that's a good
This
complaint.
obviously may not be a shock to most, though. Ever since the inception of these channels, it was obvious that they wanted to entertain children. This isn't the case of a content creator, or in this case, a studio, changing their content to be more brand-friendly. Enchanted Mob and Examination have always been Minecraft Center animation channels, obviously having an overwhelming majority viewer base of children to preteens. This I honestly feel is fine. Something that I feel I mistakenly left out in my horror games for kids video, which precedes this one, is that obviously, making content skewed towards a younger audience is completely fine. Where I and many others start to have a problem is either if these studios or individuals start to pretend as if their piece of entertainment is not meant for this audience. It seems like it's trying to be a horror game not meant for children, but everything else around the game is trying desperately to pull in fans as young as 4 years old. This obviously is a smart tactic to do. If you try to cater to every age demographic at once, you will ultimately have a lot more people checking out your product, meaning the absolute most people willing to view it. But as we have seen time and time again, executing this just right is harder than a lot of people think, because after a while of trying to cater to everyone, you end up catering to no one.
Yeah, but the game still did extremely well. I'm a little confused on what the controversy is now after having watched this. So it seems like the people behind it are pretty, I wouldn't even say shady. Like, they haven't even really done anything wrong other than a couple of accusations about workplace culture, which may or may not be true. I haven't read it. But other than that, like right now I'm walking away from this being like, oh, I guess all that Poppy Playtime drama was a fucking nothing burger. Except for the NFTs, which he hasn't mentioned yet, but he might. The NFTs, I think, is a pretty indefensible point. And $5 for a 30-minute game is a bit greedy, agreed. I really don't buy the whole plagiarism thing anymore. It's just I thought they, like, ripped the gameplay from someone else, because that was the most unique part about Poppy, was, like, the little sticky hands going around just, like, fucking slapping shit. I thought they, like, stole that from another game, stole the story, stole everything. But it seems like the only thing it has in common is both of those games took place with, like, toys gone bad, which is super generic.
Enchanted Mob has had a very rough history, especially in its later years. But even though undeniably Zach Belanger at the very least may be a bad person, I have superstitions that the backlash they have been getting, way even before this video, will be more than enough to skew people away from supporting mob games. Or most famously, their controversy for the Poppy Playtime NFTs.
Yeah!
These are also very big reasons to not like these
NFTs!
people, and I originally had a whole section written about why NFTs are bad, but honestly, I don't really think I need to give you guys that discussion. Neither do I think it's really the appropriate place to have it. Hence why they couldn't really be fit to the greater point that I was trying to make. What I can say, though, is that NFTs are just another example of Poppy Playtime meaning to just be another cash grab game with no long-staying integrity. When or if all the chapters do release, the game will fall into complete irrelevancy. What was shown off looks at least a little more dynamic than the first 30 minutes we were originally given, but I am also not going to hold my breath. But anyways, I have been Dags, and until next time, see ya.
You're subsquillium. Yeah, I don't really know what the takeaway is. All this did was show me that the whole plagiarism thing was unfounded. Okay. I can't look at James Corden, I'm sorry. That was a good history of the whole company and everything, though. I didn't know anything about the people behind it. They do seem a little odd. But the game itself now, I don't believe in the whole plagiarism thing. Didn't they cancel the NFT? Doesn't matter. The second someone shows you that they're trying to put NFTs into their shit, it's already too late. Even if they cancel it, even if they backpedal, you now know exactly where their head's at. So once you go NFTs, you don't go back.
Sometimes you find something in a video game that makes you think, well, I've seen everything now. This is why today we're diving into 10 of the craziest images never meant to be found in video games.
How crazy can they be?
Use promo code ODDHEADER in the link down below to save 20% today. Little Big Planet is a fairly light-hearted, kid-friendly puzzle platformer series with unexpected discoveries that I've covered before with more to come. However,
I never really got into Little Big
discoveries
Planet.
that were found were remnants of an early prototype build of Little Big Planet was found and recovered. In 2020, mysterious Cuban friends found on their Little Big Planet Discord server Dreamiverse that among the recovered files of the prototype could be found this sinister image. To date, nobody has any idea what the
That's
hell
not
this
sinister. That's nothing. That's fucking nothing. Does anyone recognize this? What's this? Was this used in another game or anything? It's a Titan. Interesting theory.
Black Mesa is the commercial remake of the original.
Oh, I forgot this
platform,
came out.
Originally released on Steam Early Access in 2015 with a full release in 2020. Behind it on the danger decal would be, well, nothing. However, if you were to look in the alpha channel of the danger decal's texture, it would reveal in that spot, ew. This hideous revulsion is actually Tarman from the 80s cult classic zombie movie
Why?
Return of the Living Dead. Oh,
What?
It's even worse in motion. Why he's hidden here in Black Mesa? Can't tell you on that.
Why would that be
Something
there?
Even more horrific
What the
than
fuck?
This also lies in the game, as on a random texture of a cardboard box can be found a hidden image of Mr. Six from the Six Flags commercial. Great. Guess this guy's gonna start showing back up in my nightmares again.
I actually remember that guy being fucking horrifying too, I'm not gonna lie.
Name. They could find this shed which lacked collision at the bottom. In going through the shed, they would see this. I have no
Hey!
idea what that's supposed to be, but clearly it's wearing
It's like a-
chef's hat. A potato.
It's like a
maybe?
dick butt chef. That's pretty cool. Concept art for the game, maybe? How is that a bird? It's clearly like some kind of... like a cookie or something? I mean, I have no fucking clue, actually.
A potato maybe? And that's not the only odd thing that can be found out of bounds, as in a particularly hard to reach spot in this rock wall can be found a lab door that can't be accessed unless you manage to glitch around it. Pretty sure this dude was never supposed to be here.
No, he'll be used in the next
Call
storyline
of
package.
Duty, Modern Warfare 3. Sarpazes flew into this random building and found entry into an empty room that couldn't normally be accessed. Sarpazes noticed there was smoke accumulating on the other side of the room, and sure enough, when he angled the camera just right, not only did a bear appear, but it also appears
that a
to be
bear?
a ballerina. Obviously, this raises a number
Oh,
of
it's a
questions
ballerina.
like what the hell this represents and why it was hidden so well, given that it took so many years to find. Blood Rain. Terminal Cut.
Damn, that's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
Through oddheader.com. Blood Rain is definitely a game that isn't coy with the suggestive. First video game character to ever appear in Playboy in 2004.
I didn't remember that.
Crawling through the files of the
What?
recently
Why?
released Blood Rain Terminal Cut. For some reason, there appears to have been added images to the files that are spicier than
Two
anything
ladies.
else that appears in the game. Well, obviously, I'm not going to be able to show you this whole image. Instead, here's a kid-friendly recreation of the image. Yeah. This is actually a lot more
Whoa.
awkward than I thought it'd be. The Last
He
of
went out
Us.
and bought
You may
Barbies
have
just for that
recently
one
seen a highly
clip,
covered Easter
one
egg
scene.
supposedly found after 7 years in The Last of Us. Where at the beginning of the game as Sarah, if you were to stand on the last step of the staircase, quit to the main menu, reload the game, and then went back to the bedroom, you would see an ant projected on the television instead of the normal static. The ant is actually an upside-down still from the BBC documentary about an ant-eating fungus that inspired the infected in the game. Now, this was covered everywhere
That's cool.
from IGN to The Gamer. Kurt Marginell retweeted the IGN tweet and said, as the one who scripted this sequence, sounds like a bug to be honest. Well, it certainly
Nice, Kurt.
looks like a bug. Kurt Marginell went on, I could be misremembering 7 years ago, but I think the flipbook of the ant was like a default shader test thing, and it appearing is probably me not initializing something correctly. Or it was intentional and I don't remember. I'm old now.
I think that is cute, yeah.
That weren't found for years. I'll just leave this video right here. 2.
I think
Or
someone
not.
can correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't the longest an Easter egg stayed hidden in Arkham Asylum? Batman Arkham Asylum, there was like a really in-depth Easter egg that was supposed to hint at the upcoming Arkham City, which wasn't announced or even revealed or anything at all, and it took, what, like 5 years before the developers just said, here's what was actually in there. Nobody found this Easter egg. So the developers were the ones that had to, like, reveal it. I could be misremembering, but I remember there was that Easter egg there. I'm pretty sure the devs had to reveal it. Let me see. The Arkham Asylum Easter egg took 3 years to find. Where does it say about them being the ones that said it? No, I guess it actually wasn't them that revealed it. They just found it on their own. There was a Doom 2 that wasn't found till like 2 years ago, so about 30 years.
Nothing.
I'll look it up in a minute then.
2003's Law and Order
Thanks for
Double or
some
Nothing
Zigzag and the Prime
based
Presumed.
on the hugely successful TV show, which is why there didn't seem to be anything unusual about this scene. Fast forward 4 years later and suddenly the game is met with a storm of controversy and even getting pulled from store shelves. As it turned out, this image in the background was an actual photo of the child abduction of James Bulger in 1993, whose mother was outraged to find out was actually used in the game. Either way, considering it took 4 years to find, I'm sure the developers never
I'm sure
thought
they didn't
people
lose
would
sales
notice
over it
the
after
image of
4
such a
years.
heinous crime. Yikes. Stalker, Shadow of Chernobyl. Stalker Shadow of Chernobyl is a first-person shooter survival horror series set after a fictional second nuclear explosion at the site of the 1986 Chernobyl disaster. Despite coming out in 2007, Stalker was originally announced as far back as 2000, with multitudes of unfinished builds of the game being leaked online before the game released.
I don't really remember the Stalker game very well.
749, the earliest known prototype of the game to exist. It's pretty certain that build 749 is a version the developer probably didn't want anyone to play, as for some reason the loading screens were a rather full-on image of a woman. Well, once again, I'm gonna
What?
have to go back to my YouTube-friendly demonstration.
No fucking... Wait, what?
Basically, she's like this. What am I doing with my life? Thanks again.
Wait, that's
to
fucking
Manscaped for
crazy.
being an
The
awesome
loading
supporter of the
screens in
channel
that
again.
build were just a
Manscaped's
naked
hooked
woman
me up
bending
with
over?
A bunch of tools from their
I need to look
performance
that up.
package kit, and it's all been awesome. The Lawnmower 3.0 remains their flagship product by being waterproof and safe in the shower. I personally have never gotten a nick or cut using this thing, which is likely thanks to the advanced skin-safe technology.
Oh, wow.
needed to
Yeah,
do
it's real.
exactly that. And if you want to be even more devoid of hair like Ken here, there's now the Weed Whacker nose and hair trimmer, which has the same amazing quality of the Lawnmower 3.0. And they
some
even
Angel.
sent the awesome Shears 2.0 luxury nail kit, which like the rest of Manscaped's products is of an extremely impressive quality. I can't recommend these products enough.
Damn, the Stalker
Shout out
community
to
is so
Animorphs,
active and thorough.
Octonauseus Tacino, Rise Sparrow,
I
Green
envy
Bella
Stalker
Rosa,
fans.
Riley
You can be
S,
one if you
Select,
want.
Sneaking Jay.
The Anomaly mod is huge. I don't know that one. Well, I'd never heard of any of those images hidden in those games, so those were all different. New information to me. The most interesting one being the actual just woman bending over for the loading screens. No. If you watch Putz 2 Rage, you'll like it. Okay. What am I looking for? Oh my god, this is 59 minutes. The angriest Splatoon 2 player ever. How do you get angry playing Splatoon? Splatoon is so goofy. I've never played it. It just looks like a really wholesome kid's game. Oh my god, this is number 19? Is he on the phone with him right now?
Get me off this fucking list! Hey, bitch! I'm talking to you!
Jesus
Get me off
Christ!
this fucking list! I never push with these fuckers. They're just too fucking mentally retarded.
Oh my god, it's actually kids that he's insulting. Holy shit. Bro needs to chill. Splatoon must get heated.
Not one fucking teammate! This is retarded!
I have no
Don't
idea
be
how
in
this
position
game
to
works.
Fucking help. Literally, stay out of position, sniper. And then he gets me killed.
How was that his
God,
fault? What
he
happened?
backed up 2/3 the map again. And gets me killed.
What is happening? I don't know how the
Fucking
game works.
pressure on him. Fucking jag-off motherfucker.
Holy shit.
Oh, you fucking piece of shit.
This guy's awesome.
Insane.
I'm gonna go to your school and spit in your fucking
No
lunchbox.
fucking help. I can't do anything.
Was that a full-blown rage quit? And this is only part 19. Well, I think there was a part 52.
No way.
Imagine getting this mad at a bad game. I hear nothing but good things about the game. I don't know about the competitive side, but
Fucking piece of shit.
it must be pretty
You
intense.
helped in any fucking fashion. Not one of you fucking helped.
I can actually
you
hear the
asshole.
tears building up right now. I can actually feel his eyes
Really?
getting damp.
Fuck you, assholes.
This guy's pretty fucking awesome. Wait, is his name I Hate You? Is it maybe it's an act? Is it like an act? It has to be.
No! mind?
I don't know. It's hard to tell.
How the fuck do you fuck that up? I win right there if you stop him.
Yeah, I don't know, Gato. Makes it tier
If
1
you just shoot
volatile.
once.
There, let's see number 52. Oh, it wasn't 52, it was 59 minutes. That's what it was. Even if it's an act, what a spectacle. True. What a spectacle indeed. Okay, he's kind of moving. Quality's pretty shit.
What the fuck? Will they quit coming right the fuck up on me? What the hell? I made it so goddamn fucking easy for you! What the actual fuck? Holy hell, man!
It's real, there's a video of him calling Nintendo. That doesn't mean it's real. But it does sound real.
Holy hell!
Okay, let me see him calling Nintendo.
So what can I help you with?
So, I am pretty livid over everything about Nintendo at the moment, so... yeah, to get started. Your online system, the pay for online is complete trash.
Yeah.
Like, complete trash.
What do you want him to do about
I'm
it?
a
He didn't
Splatoon
make
2
it.
streamer and actually a pretty popular one at that.
Oh yeah.
And the fact that
Ooh.
we've had no benefit of actual online services of any kind is absolutely ridiculous. And I'm so sick and tired of calling in. You're gonna have to ask me to stop swearing? I'm gonna have to ask you to please get this everything working correctly. Because
Jesus
this is
Christ.
just crazy about the harassment I'm having to deal with every time. And if you can't handle me swearing because I'm getting constantly harassed, then that's a goddamn problem. Now, I am absolutely sick of being harassed online. I'm sick of having no benefits.
I can actually
for
hear
paying online
grease
services
firing off of
from
his body
either
right
expanding
now.
my block lists, friend
As
lists,
sweat is pouring
fucking
down.
quality of service from the actual connections, just latency, the horrible...
I am going to have to end the call.
Then transfer me to another supervisor, and I'm hopefully it's not going to take another half an hour, because you're honestly not even trying to listen to anything I have to say. You're just obsessed about me swearing and wanting to end this call. Left out in left field for this crap.
I'm not sure I understand what you mean. we do the same recording procedures.
Yeah, I got lost in the sauce there too, my guy. I don't know what the fuck he said.
How do you not know what I'm talking about? Nintendo Japan, to be blunt, has they have better quality of online service.
According to what?
Because of just how small their community is. We have to deal with basically Amazon servers, which is just completely stupid. They're not even gaming servers, but it's just so bad.
He sounds like a
And then
12-year-old
top
in
off,
math class who got
horrible,
called on to answer a
horrible,
problem and is melting down.
just team comps, the pairing systems, the point systems, and then to top it off, I'm getting harassed with players online that have to come into my lobbies and intentionally lobby snipe me just to throw games. And it's to the point where I just want to smash my own head in.
He's actually huffing and puffing right now. This is the most intense moment of his life. He called an innocent customer service rep for Nintendo to whine. You can actually hear him moaning.
More or less, or they'll intentionally throw in some other fashion. With the online paid services, we're going to actually have to have block limits increased. We can have friend limits increased because 300 is just not enough for friend lists, and 100 for block is just not enough. It's just not.
I mean, the thing is, he's not wrong.
Like I said,
Nintendo service
since
does
I
fucking
do
suck.
mostly Splatoon 2,
But I wouldn't
we
call
don't get the benefits
a
of any
random
cloud
customer
saves.
service rep.
We get no benefits. Literally, nothing.
This guy was on Man vs. Food? No fucking way. How deep is this lore? I've never heard of him before. This is a wild journey. Was he really? Holy shit. Splatoon. And I also called the Nintendo service rep. I wish he had... I was honestly expecting him to come into this Man vs. Food thing and just go fucking wild like he was doing on Splatoon. Just like smashing burritos, fucking throwing them at the cashier. Very underwhelming. He seemed well-mannered here, talking about his baby burritos. Yeah, I'm gonna play Ghostwire. When does it come out?
Is Charlie a Virgo? No, he's a Leo.
Oh.
I mean nice.
When does this come out? Or, yeah, when does this come out? Someone asked me when the last time I looked at a Tokyo, or a IGN review was. Now I have an answer.
Tokyo's Shibuya district is one of the
Comes out on
liveliest
Friday.
places on the planet. Day or night, it's densely packed with people
Well,
and
they just told me
positively
it comes out on
thrumming with
Friday.
energy. Ghostwire
Thanks, you said
Tokyo
Michael.
gives us a radically different window into this iconic urban hub
This looks
when a
cool.
supernatural force leaves its streets eerily deserted.
Can't use life.
It'll be fun. So this looks exactly like what I expected. Fun narrative, fun visuals, and dog shit
Ghostwire
gameplay.
has not one, but two protagonists. Akito is the lone corporeal survivor of the mysterious
Prime
fog
Mini-Me.
that turned Shibuya into a literal ghost town,
Here's some
and
Jim.
was in a bad place even before the spirits hit the fan. There are Jizzo statues that upgrade your elemental ammo capacity.
Okay.
Unique items that can be traded in for rewards.
Wonder what this is.
Consumables, skill
This looks
points,
like a
and
game I'd
fuel
find
for
on
your
Steam new
attacks.
releases on bad game nights.
It's a lot. Thankfully, Spectral Vision lets you send out a pulse which highlights anything of interest nearby, so finding collectibles never comes down to a pixel hunt. The many yokai in the city.
So is that the
meanwhile,
main
whether
gameplay, just
cats to
hunting
buy from
pixel-
or
or,
tengu that can
collectibles?
be used to reach the rooftops are all marked on the map once discovered. Yokai hunts.
Okay, let me
really
just see.
should
What does
be
IGN
other
give it? A
solutions
9?
to every problem. Of creating space and then shooting your biggest gun can be
Okay.
applied to almost every situation, regardless of the enemy makeup.
looks
resulting in
pretty
another
good.
one-dimensional, one-size-fits-all combat strategy. And for a game that likes to play tricks on your
This isn't a
mind during
trailer, it's a
story
review.
missions, it's a shame Ghostwire doesn't do more of that during its moment-to-moment gameplay in the overworld. Touches like this really helped enrich the atmosphere, and I'd have loved to see more visitors and environments that had that
Thanks,
simmering
resub jam.
psychological uncertainty.
Alright, what do we got?
I enjoyed my 20 or so hours with
Thanks,
Ghostwire
resub
Tokyo
Kilo.
largely because I found its world so immersive. The attention to detail in the city itself is hugely impressive.
And
Whether
Hazelli,
it's looking to recreate the
Hazel.
surroundings of the best-known crossing in the world, or
They give it a
elements of
9, I'm
Japanese
calling it.
culture, the merely adequate stealth and action
Oh, maybe
do
not?
nothing to add to the fantastic
Oh!
setting, but they don't diminish its brilliance either. For more reviews, check out our verdict on Tunic.
That seems fair. That was a pretty fair review, honestly. 7 sounds about right from everything I've seen from Ghostwire. But it's probably going to get really boring to play. If the gameplay never changes. It's not a stream game. Yeah, this is going to be one of those games that's probably going to be pretty boring as a viewer. And like I said, if the gameplay really is just going to be the same stale shit over and over again, it's going to be just boring to play in general. But I'll still give it a try. The new Kirby drops Friday too. Oh, we'll probably start with the new Kirby then instead of Ghostwire. Damn. That's rough for Ghostwire. Yucky. They might want to just push that, like, now. Tiny Tina also comes out. Yeah, but I don't give a fuck about that. Bro, I do not like Borderlands. I like the first one, and not really ever since.